What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So I thought this a video like this would be very interesting, right? And I was talking to one of my boys, man, and y'all don't know, but I have friends, very close friends to me who date outside of our race, right? I don't judge them for it. I don't look down on them for it at all. I have family members, close family members, close ones that I've dated outside of our race and who still date outside of our race, right? One of my closest cousins has a wife who's non-black, you know. But when me and my boy was talking, I started to discuss why my preference was always black women first. Like my preference was always black women. Um, y'all know I'm born and raised on the south side of Chicago. The south side of Chicago is predominantly black, but at the same time, Chicago, although Chicago is diverse, Chicago is one of the most segregated cities in the United States of America. Black people live with black people, Asians live with Asians, Hispanics live with Hispanics, whites live with whites, etc. For the most part. For the most part, right? So early on in my early years, before I'm even like my brain is like really fully developed, because I go to school with black women, I go to the basketball courts, black women at the parks. I go to the mall, black women there. The corner store, black women there. I was already conditioned to just see black women first. That's just really what it was. I was always conditioned to see black women first because that was in my surroundings. My everyday surroundings was black women, right? So I already developed a natural attraction to the black woman. A strong attraction, though. To the point, even when I got to college, because I went to an HBCU for undergrad, and then I went to a predominantly white institution for grad school. Even when I got, because my HBCU had some white students there that played like soccer, volleyball, had a few girls that may have played basketball that were outside of the race. But you had some softball players that were non-black there, right? But even when being around non-black women, I still had a preference for black women first. And that was just because of me growing up around these women and being around them. Their aura, the black woman's aura, her pheromones, it did something to me immediately. Okay? But then as I got older, as you start to become more conscious of certain things, I'm never gonna sit up here and act like I'm just the smartest person in the world. I'm not gonna act like I'm the most woke person in the world, because I'm not. You know what I mean? But I'm well read. I have knowledge of self, and I've become more enlightened over the years. Right? I recognize that my preference for black women has become more intentional lately due to who I've grown to be as a person. Right? And listen, this is never I'm not trying to denigrate anybody who dates outside of our race. I'm really not. Who you choose to date, that's your business. Who you choose to love, that's your business, right? And I'm never going to say what I'm never going to, some shit I'm just never going to do. And you hear me say it on this channel. I'm never going to say what I'm never going to do, but my preference will always be with black women first, because I recognize that if the Lord ever blesses me, like for one, a black woman, and not just a black woman, a conscious black woman too, though, a conscious black woman. And I say that because our missions have to be aligned with one another, right? Especially for me to marry you. It has to be, our missions have to be aligned. I have to know that you are, like, I'm never acting like I'm Dr. Umar or anybody like that, because I'm not. But what I'm saying is that I have a strong investment in my people. Now, I'm invested in my people. I'm invested in my people for real. So, I'm invested in a way where if I were to pass from this earth and God allows me to have riches, right? If the Most High allows me to be rich and wealthy, I want to be with a woman that once I am deceased, she's going to take care of my children, our children, right? She's going to take care of our children, right? And then she's going to give my money to black causes, okay? She gonna give my money to Mississippi Valley State University, like my HBCU, my alma mater. I respect. Look, Arkansas State, they helped give me my master's degree, right? They gave me, the degree to help me get a higher paying job, etc. Arkansas State got enough money though. It's a predominantly white institution. They got money funneling into their university on a regular basis. My wife better know not to get no Arkansas State my money. Hell no. I'm sorry, A-State. Love y'all, but no, y'all don't need that. Give my money back to the black institution. Give my money back to black causes. Put my money in the HBCUs. Put my money in black businesses. Put my money within my family. I have to be with a woman who is conscious of doing that, so that I can make sure that my people be straight out here. My direct family and then my extended black family as well. So we can help uplift other black folks. You know what I mean? Because I would hate to be with a woman. I'm sorry. I'll be rolling over in my grave. I'm with a woman. And she donate my riches to one of these PWIs. They get billions, all these billion-dollar endowments. No, my money, they don't need it at all. Put it to the HBCUs who need the funding, who are underfunded, who are intentionally underfunded. Put it into black businesses, a young black man, a young black woman trying to start their business up, trying to get going, trying to attain generational wealth for their family, trying to do something different, and trying to do the right thing to enrich their family, etc. Give it to them black folks. Give it to them. I need to be with a woman who knows and understands that. Because most of the time, I don't care what nobody say. When you marry a woman, right, especially any woman, you're going to have to put some money into their family too. You have to put some money into their community, etc. Because that's what they're going to do. That, like, people's self-preservation is a thing. They're going to want to preserve their people too, where they come from and all that. They're going to want to preserve where they come from too, not just in yours. And if you do that with a woman who is non-black, you got to give money to her causes, to her people, to where she come from, right? And so, like, you seen it with Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. When they got married, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was some money going back to the Asian community, and she ensured that. She did. Even when I'm hearing Kobe Bryant's wife, he's deceased now, and rest in peace to him and his beautiful daughter, and the other individuals whose lives were lost in a helicopter crash. Can't forget about them as well. But Vanessa Bryant put some money into predominantly white institutions. No HBCUs, right? And again, she's Italian, but is she Italian? Hispanic, Italian? I think she's Italian. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Hispanic, Italian, one of them. Y'all let me know for whatever it is. But yeah, she ain't think nothing about putting it into HBCUs. And some would say the onus should be on Kobe Bryant because maybe he didn't educate her about HBCUs because he maybe wasn't as educated about it or was not invested into it, etc. And that could be true, right? But listen, my woman got to know who I am as a person and know I'm pro-black. Put myself into black causes. I got to be with a woman who cares about the black people just as much as I do. You know what I mean? I don't want her to be, again, and I'm not saying you got to give money to every black person alive, and because some people are predatory. Some people do wrong shit within our community, etc., and within all communities for real. But she got to be really willing to be like, recognize that, hey, we got to funnel money back into our people for real, because we are the ones who are behind, who are lacking resources, etc. Our schools are lacking resources in our neighborhoods that we come from, so much so that my mother, I went to black schools, but I never went to the schools in my neighborhood. Never. I always went to schools outside of my area because I wanted to go to my mama put me in school, in the magnet schools. My mom and my father made sure I went to the good schools that had good curriculum, great teachers, that, had a trajectory of sending kids to college or putting them on track to be set up great where they're reading above their level. They're doing math above their level, etc. I was always in them schools like that. I was always in Chicago public schools, but I went to Turner Language Academy on 93rd and Princeton in the middle of Princeton Park. That's a school that I was learning Russian from kindergarten to 3rd grade. From 4th grade to 8th grade, I was learning, 4th grade to 8th grade, I was learning French, right? I learned how to type in 3rd, 4th grade without looking down. Seriously, right? That's how I could type a paper really fast. I could type a lot of words per minute, right? I learned how to write in cursive in 3rd grade. I learned how to write a real paper when I was like in 6th grade, I learned how to write a paper for real. So when I went to high school, I had no problems writing. I had no problems writing papers when I got to college. I went to Morgan Park High School, where again, they were teaching us how to have certain skills, how to problem solve, how to think critically. So when I got to college, it really wasn't a big hassle for me to do that because I was already indoctrinated to do those things. I was already, built to do those things. So I have to be the woman who recognizes that those schools helped me, right? And she probably went to the same schools too. But even if she didn't, she recognized that those schools helped me get to where I wanted to be in life. And she want to funnel money back into the schools in our community that don't have those resources to help build them up. So other black folks, other young black boys and girls can be set up for success the way I was by going to the proper schools, etc. And I think me personally, if I don't know if I'm with a woman who is not black, she would be having a vested interest in that. She probably wouldn't. She just want to make sure our family, our kids good, and then her mama and her people go cool, get some money to my mama and them, and that be it. But she ain't gonna donate no money to my HBCU probably. She probably ain't gonna think about donating money to all these other black causes like that. Because I'm not allowed to reinforce it. You know what I mean? She probably, she may not be vested in it. She vested in it probably when I'm living, but not when I'm gone. And I think my preference is black women because a black woman who's conscious would have that same vested interest in black people as I do. And that's important to me.